Hello, hello guys. We are in the van and we spent the night at a Walmart. I know, not so glamorous, but hey, we're in our own place. Didn't have to unpack anything, didn't have to take any luggage, which is really cool. That's one thing about this taller van. We just go back. We didn't have to like sneak out the door, back in the door. With the minivan you had to. So, not that the minivan's bad, it worked, but
Minivan's more stealth and you can go places easier, so there's advantages to it. But for two people, this is obviously nicer. It's bigger. Yeah. It's, it was comfortable. It was good.
So yeah, so we're 3 hours into our 16-hour trip.
About 16,
17-hour trip. So we got
to get 10 hours in today.
All day today, and heading south, and it's gonna get hotter.
Yep.
Hotter. So join us. Good morning, day 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Today's Friday, and we are in Forsyth, Georgia. Next is our destination in Florida, and spent another night on a Walmart parking lot, and
it was good last night.
It's good. It was not bad.
Here.
It was actually quiet. This Walmart.
It's funny. It's hidden. Most Walmarts you see just plain as day. This one's hidden back in
trees all around. It was quiet.
Yep.
Sleeping good. We got a mattress topper because the mattress is a little hard, but we got a mattress that seemed to help. But otherwise, we've been doing good. So 2 nights, no hotel, but I think he's gonna get a hotel tonight.
Yes.
Yep. While I go meet for my retreat. Later. Hey everyone, Christine I see here, and welcome back to the channel. For those who are new here, welcome. We are a van life, mermaid life, and my life in general, because I kind of use this channel as a documentary because I want to remember all our good times, adventures, and new experiences all the time. And for those that are returning, thank you for being here. I'm sorry that I haven't been here. We've been busy.
Been busy, traveling a lot, and just
been busy, and I haven't had a chance to sit down, and we are now wanting to recap our trip from this last Florida. And if you recall, check out the 3-day van build. That was a temporary build in this Ford Transit, and I always said it was temporary. This is a dry run. It's to get to know the Transit, and we wanted to share a few things that we learned.
And that was a big benefit to be able to test this out. It wasn't our build. We finished a lot of things that someone else had started, so it really wasn't the way we would put it together. But it was nice to really be able to try it out. We took it on obviously a long journey, and a number of things we figured out then in being able to try it out that we, maybe thought of before but didn't think were as important.
Right. Yep. So we just put the basics in here just so we could just go on the trip and be comfortable. Like the refrigerator, the bed, the batteries, of course, that were already in here. You put a bar in to hang up clothes and stuff. But other than that...
Yeah, it was pretty bare bones.
Yeah, we learned a lot. So, Here are a few things that we learned. Number 1, shower. Shower actually...
moved up on the list.
Yeah, we didn't think it was just gonna be a small thing to rinse off, blah blah blah. But after where we went to Florida, the humidity, the water, the sand, the salt, it became a higher priority.
More important than we thought. My intention was we were gonna have a shower, but it was gonna be more in the hallway and something that you could just wrap around a shower curtain and rinse off. It wasn't meant to be something that you'd use in an emergency more than anything else. But now obviously we realize that it would be more important, especially again coming out of the ocean, salt water. It's nice to be able to shower off. And then also we can hang stuff. Christine, her mermaid tail, all the things that she has in the water, we need to be able to hang them up, and having actually somewhere a shower so they can drip into it, that made it a big deal. So the shower now has become a bigger part of what we were going to do. It is going to actually take up its own footprint. We'll have a real shower pan instead of just a little drain in the floor, and so forth.
Yeah. And then, so number 2, this is your area, battery power.
Yeah, we had some issues with battery, and it was funny. The van came with 600 amp hours of Battleborn batteries, which is a lot of battery. But I did not realize that they were not being charged correctly. We didn't put them in, and there was no way to test it until we used them and drained them some. but we realized that the Transits, because they have a smart alternator, that the alternator, the voltage fluctuates quite a lot and it drops down quite a lot, enough so that unless you put a trigger on it to tell the charger that it is actually running, it keeps shutting off. So we were we're not charging the batteries for the first number of days, and we ended up having then a low battery alarm, which was odd because we had driven for so long. We would think they would be charged, but again, it wasn't charging right. So that was something that we learned. Obviously, if we would have installed it, that's in the manual, and I know I've heard people talk about it, but I didn't go through it that closely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the third thing, so we like the warm weather, so we plan on going to more warm weather. So air conditioner is a huge importance, and we already kind of knew that prior to, but
yeah, we have an air conditioner that we've already purchased for it, 12-volt air conditioner. But and it's not so much that the air conditioner becomes important, but realizing that we'll probably run it a lot more than we thought.
Yes.
It is a little unfair to make the comparison yet, because this van has zero insulation, has some rattle trap, way too much rattle trap put on everything. A kills mat, sorry, use kills mat, but way too much kills mat is on every single surface, more than you need kills mat.
Yeah.
But there was no insulation. So in Florida and South Carolina, it was difficult to keep it cool almost, just because of the fact that there's so little insulation. But it does realize that the air conditioner probably run more than we thought it would. So again, battery power is important, but also solar then becomes important.
Right.
Adding solar on and having solar, we thought we would see how we ran because we drive quite a lot. We go between destinations. We don't tend to boondock and stay in one place a long time. Mm-hmm. So we thought we could charge the batteries a lot when we drive, and it would be fine not having solar. But now we think that because the air conditioner probably have to run as much as it will, we're going to make sure we have as much solar on the roof right away. So solar, and then also a roof rack. We didn't plan on putting the roof rack on right away.
Which is on order.
We've ordered those already because we're definitely going to have to add those.
Yep. So, and then another thing was the toilet. So, if you recall, we had a dry flush toilet come with the van when we purchased it, and that was an experience. I didn't use it.
Well, we weren't sure what we were going to use, and we didn't have experience with either a composting toilet or a cassette toilet. And I actually, at the time, I'd never even heard of a dry flush toilet, but one came with us. It was the Laveo dry flush, and we've never used it before, so it was interesting. I wondered how it would work, number one, and would there be an odor? You think it's kind of like a diaper genie where you're going in there and then it's just wrapping it up. And because of that, I thought, how will that really protect from some odor? Mm-hmm. And we used it then, or I used it then, to see how it would go. And there really was not much odor with it. I was very surprised at how that was. And when we got back from the trip, I actually left it intentionally just to see how long it would take to make an odor. And it took almost 2 weeks before we had much odor out of it. I would assume if you used it more, that might change that. We only used it a couple times. But still, I was very impressed with that. That is definitely the way we're going to go with the dry flush. There's pluses and minuses, and we'll do a video on the dry flush itself and go through that a little more. But again, that's the way we're going to go when we do our conversion.
Yep. And so the next thing that we also learned, so this van was already installed with the swivel seats. We're short.
Yes.
While I was at the retreat, he took them out.
No, because we found when we started driving, we're on the road and we realized that we don't touch the floor very well. Again, we're short, so other people won't have this problem, but those of us 5'4" and under, we have a hard time touching the floor. Your foot is resting on the gas pedal, your heel is not resting on the floor, unless you push the chair so far forward that the steering wheel is all the way up in here, and it wasn't comfortable. And same thing with it being a passenger. Your feet, you could touch them, but they had to be straight down. So the swivels, in our conversion, we don't need them anyway. We're going to have a bulkhead, and the front seats won't turn around, so we don't need them. But I didn't think it would raise the chairs up that much. But it was about 1.5 inches actually it raised them up. So
it made a difference.
Took those out right away.
Yeah. And then last of the things that we've also learned is in the front cab, that window generates so much heat.
Well, and it's also, I think, the top doesn't appear to be insulated. So behind the shelf, there's no insulation there. So you just have a big metal roof up there, and it got hot, and the window was hot. We're going to insulate then better above the shelf, And then also, I think the door should be insulated better.
Yep.
And because again, they let a lot of heat through. We're also, the front window is huge, so we're going to try to tint part of it darker, so that way it blocks, you know, some of the sun without it blocking our view. We're not going to tint, obviously, the front window except for just a little strip on the top, but the side windows tint what we can, just to try to reduce the amount of heat that comes in the van.
Yeah. So no, I mean, this trip was really good for us to, I mean, if you ever, or if you're going to get a transit van, highly suggest don't do anything quite permanent yet. Go test it out, see how you would move in it, live in it, and before you do anything permanent. I think this was a great.
Yeah.
And then throughout since we've had the van, we've tested out with our dog Molly. We put her kennel in here to see how she takes with it, and it's been going really good.
Yeah, the first trip we took, we didn't have anything in the front between the seats, and she would stand there, and it seemed like she was trying to look out and couldn't see out. So we thought that was a problem, so we built a little platform in between the seats. That actually wasn't better. She didn't like it. She didn't like the platform. It made her more uncomfortable, and then she was up with the shifter and right into our space, so that's out. But it was nice to be able to test that out for a little bit before we built something permanent and realized we don't like that.
Right, and then, but she really takes to the kennel really well. And
she travels well. She likes to sleep in the car. She just sleeps most of the time anyway. So she does travel. We're lucky with that.
But no, I do know I want windows. Of course, in the new van it would have the rear windows.
Factory rear windows, side windows we're going to install ourselves. Again, because we want to have ventilation.
Correct.
The factory windows do not open. The windows we bought have the tip-out awning windows.
But overall, I'm fairly happy with the size. I can stand in it. You can move in it comfortably with 2 people. You can store a good amount. Yeah,
this is definitely the right size for us. It's the extra high roof because of the floor plan we're going to build will become important, and it is the 148 wheelbase non-extended, which fits in a normal parking space, just barely, but it does fit in a normal parking space. It's no bigger than our truck. It was easy to drive around. Obviously, it's tall, so you're not fitting in parking garages, so you had to be a little careful with that. But it was nice.
Yeah.
I was very happy.
I love driving it. Actually, it's so easy to drive. It drives easier than our diesel truck.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. So all in all, it was worthwhile that we were able to pick up Bunny here as a plan B, just in case we didn't get our van built, and have something to use.
Yeah. So we're gonna end it here, but we have news on the next one.